Well, now Golden Week is over. I guess that means we're finally going to go back to normal manga schedules. In terms of leak, of course. But yes, we're going back to normal scheduling. Alright. Here's the thing. I only have Tokyo Ghoul to cover. The other chapters, such as Fairy Tales and Seven Deadly Sins, and even Baku no Hero Academia, has not been released. No leaks, no early leaks. So, in other words, this episode is going to be pretty short. Oops, I should have got more manga. I mean, I do have more manga, but I'm not sure if I'm going to start reviewing in my podcast. But in due time, I'll let you guys know. That being said, yeah. I only got one for this episode. And then the next episode, I'm probably going to have only Bleach and One Piece. And that's it. Well, Golden Week does change up a lot of things, and usually it gets back to normal about like 2 weeks after the whole thing. If you follow Weekly Shonen Jump, then you'll be in luck that everything will be back to normal, or you might even get lucky with the early releases such as tomorrow, Wednesday. But then again, I wouldn't know. So, because of me looking forward to the other weekly magazines, the scheduling thing has been caught me in a loop. So now I'm only have one chapter to cover for today's episode, and then a Friday only got 2 chapters. So yeah, this Golden Week thing has really screwed me up. But this is what happens when you start things fresh, when you're beginning in this podcast stuff. This is episode 11 of Sparda's World Podcast, and your host, Sparda3G, is trying to figure out how to get things organized. But hey, I'm still going through a lot of things. But it's coming closing. It's finally getting things around, for me at least. And I guess it took a while. Let's see, 10 episodes, huh? 10 episodes took me, but it's still progressing. So again, we're gonna keep counting until I get this thing right. I'm testing new waters here. Since there's only one chapter to cover, I'm gonna test out some water. If you hear it, that means I finally bypassed this whole YouTube policy thing. If you don't hear it, then that means I have edited it out, and it sucks that I couldn't keep it. But hey, I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to get everything the way I image in my head. But, I guess things take its time, and yeah, I'm taking a while. Sorry. But anyway, now that the Golden Week is finally done, we're getting back to our normal scheduling plan. There's a lot of things to look forward ahead, and, a lot of series are coming back again, the popular ones, and even still have the Naruto Gaiden going on for, I believe, another 9 chapters. So it's only 10 chapters in total. And then you have that movie and whatnot. So then we have like One Piece and Bleach and the all other series that we all know today. So yeah, everything is getting back to normal. Still like working on my things. I kind of wish it was a longer break, to be honest with you, but I must do what I have to do. And, I don't mind doing this anyway, so why not? I'm still learning the curve, so bear with me for a while. I'm testing little new things in here. I am planning to have more extras. I believe I'm going to have one extras probably by next week or even this week, but I think it's more suitable that it's going to happen next week. And yes, I have started watching anime, and there are some animes I have started watching. There's one... It kind of actually intrigues me, and it's rather funny because, like, I kind of try to avoid this. Well, not avoid this, but I was a little bit iffy, especially the manga version of it is actually what it is, what you see in the anime. Only the problem is the anime is actually an animation form, of course. But that's the thing. If you have a fan service in the manga, imagine having fan service in the anime. It will be awkward. At least it depends on your situation. If you're in the house, if you're in a room, and you put a medium volume, and then you hear those grunting noise, let's just put it that way, then it's going to be very uncomfortable. So, at least I was warned before watching this anime. Anyway, I can't pronounce the name, but I know it has Soma in the end. So, it's from Weekly Shonen Jump, and so far it's pretty it's pretty good. I something about it intrigues me. I'll talk about this more on my Tumblr page, so you could read more on that. And I am planning to read the manga itself and see if I really like the series. But a lot of people has been saying it's a really good series. You should check it out. I know there's gonna be fan service and stuff like that, but if I could bear with that, then maybe I will actually continue reading on and maybe review it in here. I don't know. I'll think about it in due time. So yeah, I have been watching more animes, and I'm gonna start reviewing them here and there, and even the overall, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm also even trying to search for like a perfect place to buy my materials and buy anime manga stuff. More of a manga volumes or even a Blu-ray, anime DVD, whatever. I'm trying to find the best place. I'm not too crazy on it because I'm not that much of a crazy guy that would just get everything that's based on one series. Like I got a figurine, I got a poster, a scroll, I got this, I got a cosplay. I'm not a cosplay guy. That's all I'm telling you right now. But anyway, yeah, I'm not that crazy. I'm just trying to find some for collection reasons, especially the manga volumes. The only one I do have is Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 1 Limited Edition and One Piece Volume 1. I don't know if I want to collect more One Piece because there's so many of them. Fullmetal Alchemist, I'm definitely going to continue it and finish it. And then the other series, I'll continue on. And I even probably either post or make a small video review on the volumes, on the new releases to see if it's see if it's good and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to do that for like a little preview for Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1 because I'm a little sketchy on it because I'm not sure who's really going to try to do this whole translation. And I know it's Viz Media Publishing, but I'm a little skeptical because I didn't like how they did it with Naruto, with like talking in a way that's kind of like urbanish, for like a better words. I can't really find the right words, but they guess like try to be hip and stylish, like something that we would say in New York City was a slangish word. They actually use that in some in the early Naruto volumes. I don't know the future one, like in part 2 eras. I just know the volume 1 I have, unless they do reprints. I know they have something like that, like something that talks like it wants to be the in crowd of today's modern society, which I didn't like because it makes it very timed. It could age quickly and stuff like that. But maybe I'm wrong for the future releases. But Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, I'm hoping it goes as accordingly and doesn't change anything else to try to make it so hip. I mean, it could be worse, I guess, but I'm hoping everything is just normal. Nothing trying to be down with you guys, down with the teenagers, down with kids, stuff like that. I wouldn't allow that. I just wouldn't. So, before we get to one chapter review, we got some news that's happening at New York Comic Con. As you may have heard, Masashi Kishimoto, obviously the creator of Naruto, he is coming there. He's going to take part in the 2 panels on October 8th and October 10th. And he's also going to do multiple autograph sessions during the October 8th and 11th to 11th at the New York City Javits Center. Yeah. So there you go. He's going to be here in New York's Comic Con. That's interesting for something that's actually happening now. Well, okay, not now, but this year Comic Con. I actually kind of thought that it should have happened last year because there was a time where Naruto was ending, and that's where a lot of talk comes in about the whole Naruto's finally coming to an end after 15 years. It seems like I wouldn't say it seems too late. It's not so bad because if you guys like him, then this is your chance to see him. But I'm just saying, like, it would have been appropriate time if him should show up last year to make things so a huge worthy news and of coming in New York City in order to not only to promote the end, but to say farewell to the fans. But I guess it's better late than never. So it doesn't really matter to me. if you really want to see him, get his autograph, you would know where to go. It would be the New York Comic Con. However, if you cannot go to the New York Comic Con, he will appear in a Kinokuniya bookstore. That's a Japanese bookstore in New York City at 44. Actually, not 44. It was around 42nd Street. Around 42nd Street. East side, 42nd Street. And the Barnes & Noble is during this, what they call it, that's New York Super Week. October 5th to October 11th. So that's your another chance to get an autograph signing with Kishimoto. So at least you have two ways. The Comic-Con, he will be in the panels. He most likely talk about his work, his days. And, I believe you could ask him questions. People are saying, like, they're afraid that he's going to get a lot of hate from the conventions. I don't think so, guys. I really don't think so. I mean, there are haters for anything in general. And, of course, it doesn't really come from the ending. It could come from at any time. Like I said, I have experienced haters since 2007 or even earlier, but I just never noticed it till that year. So, with that said, even though there are haters, I don't think anything will happen at the convention like that unless somebody really have the time to go in there and ask something not hateful, but something like probably hard hitting question, as they say. I don't think that anything like that. I don't think there will be boos or anything like that. No heckling. There's not gonna be like that. I'll be shocked if there is one, if it does happen, in fact, but. Again, it's not going to happen. I've been into these conventions for a while. I'm actually shocked that I didn't even notice that Takeshi Okada, I think that's the last name, the guy the manga artist of Death Note and Bakuman, he appeared last year. And last year I didn't even go to New York Comic Con. So that's my loss. But back to this, he's not gonna be in trouble, so don't think too much negative. Again, I believe the haters will not have the time, or they have the time, but they don't want to waste on doing this, so he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not sure about the hard-hitting questions. I have heard in Jump Festa, he didn't get no hard-hitting question. It was just the most basic thing you'll probably hear in your life. No, nothing too threatening, or not threatening, but nothing like, that's a good question. Let me see how you answer this, and you try to dodge this and that. Nothing like that. I don't know. It's up to the fans. It's up to the fans to hit them hard with these questions, if they even allow questions. But we'll see. Now, the last thing from them is that they are releasing the Naruto epilogue novels, and it all begins in October. Same thing with the Naruto illustration art book, the latest one, the one that has all three timeline of Naruto in the front, and the same thing for Sasuke in the back. And not only that, we also get the final volume for this date in October. So a lot of things is happening in October for Naruto, and it seems like while Japan is ending the Naruto spree this year, America is going to end it next year, because the novels is going to be there. It's going to last, like, I'm not sure how long, but it will definitely go to another year, as Kakashi will be the first book in November. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually November that's coming out. I apologize on that. Then Shikamaru 1 will come out in February, and then Sakura is going to come out in May. So that's a pretty long gap between each novels. So with that said, I guess that means the United States will be filled with Naruto stuff for another year, while Japan is going to end it this year. So, interesting way to do it, but that's how America works. So, yeah, that's the news for these guys. And, yeah, then if you haven't found a reason to go to Comic-Con, and if you're a fan of him, I guess you could go for it. Don't worry about any bad things. I doubt it will happen. I've been through Comic Cons. Everybody's usually nice. I'll be shocked if something nasty, not that destructive or even destructive, but just nasty situation happens. I'll be shocked. You'll be first to hear me. I'll be heavily shocked. Will I go this year Comic Con? I don't know. I haven't went last year. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun convention. Will I go this year? I don't think so. Haven't found that it factor to make me go, a must factor to go. I don't know. I haven't found one yet. But it is early, so anything is possible. You never know. Maybe, just maybe, something come up and then it'll make me buy the ticket on day one. But then again, I do believe the sales is coming up next week. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know. But alright, let's get to the chapter. And yeah, this is only one chapter, so... But hey, I'm good. At least it will give me time to get some things right. I am waiting for something to come by here, and it will make everything so much easier for me. So I'm waiting for that, and once we get to that, I can start working on a lot of things, and I do hope a lot of improvements is on the way. There's one way to come back with a bang. For a chapter or just a chapter cliffhanger, this is it. This is how you do it. Man, it's going to be crazy enough to see how it's going to go down, which I do believe is not going to happen in the next chapter. With that said, this chapter was pretty damn good. I enjoyed this chapter a lot. I like the action scene coming from Shirazu and his team and going against the Nutcracker. I like the entire cliffhanger for a lot of scenarios, with the exception of the Nutcracker, since it seems like it's just an ongoing battle. But is it going a good sign from Shirazu learning the capabilities of his leadership skills, as well as understanding how to plan things out, which is part of the leadership, of course. And then we have other scenarios like Ure and Masuki going against the entire Ogiri guards, and then Ure going against the big madam, only to find out she's really some scary ghoul to mess with. And that has a good cliffhanger. But then the final part of the chapter is where the big story comes in, and that's the return of Kaneki once more. Not in the physical battlefield, but in the mentality. And it seems like there's going to be a two choice to choose from, and it's already building up the huge anticipation for the next chapter to come, or maybe the upcoming later chapters, probably 2 chapters down the line. Because right now we're almost like at the climax point for all the scenarios that we have covered in this chapter. So we have Shirazu coming back from getting stabbed from above and going against the Nutcracker, and it seems like, of course, the Nutcracker is an S rank, so this is really hard to go against, especially if she has 2 Kagune, a Baikaku and a Kokaku, which again, you know, in terms of going back from the beginning of the series, we only know 2 people with 2 Kagune, or at least wielding 2 Kagunes. And you know, and seeing the Nutcracker being like, I believe, the very first one in terms of using the physical battle as an enemy side rather than the hero side from Hinami. So this is interesting to see how this all plans out, and it's nice to see how the action is actually differ from a lot of different action take, such as like her using her one ability to set up traps in that one room while the other one do all the combat. So it's a whole new style of battlefield, which I really enjoy to see different scenario and different outcomes for this kind of battle. Which I had to endure Tokyo Ghoul for this take on the actions. So basically, Shiazu and his teammate has to fight against the Nutcracker. Unfortunately, Saiko doesn't have a battle experience because this is pretty much the beginning of everything, and not to mention she's going against an S rank ghoul. That's a huge start, and so not only that, she has to be in the battlefield rather than watching in a cheerleading side and just go like, yeah, you go get them and anything like that. So this case, she has to go fight them, and unfortunately, she is scared of her she's just scared. She can't do anything about it. And the only thing she really want to do is, let the other guys take care of her. And hopefully they win before she has to do anything, which is understandable. So, unfortunately, Nutcracker is taking a long time to defeat, or if anything, she's just too damn hard to even do a damage to her. Like I said, she planted a lot of traps before these guys come in the room. So at least Shirazu starts to understand how this whole thing works. And there's actually a pretty funny line where it comes to the fact that he has to dodge one attack that the Nutcracker almost managed to get him right in the, you guessed it, the nut area. And it's rather funny how he's like, whoo, I thought I was going to become a Miss Shiraku. So I thought that was kind of funny timing on the joke. So it was pretty amusing how it went down. Then that's where all the whole traps comes in, and that's where he understands that she could detach the Kagane, as we already saw from earlier chapters when one of the members, Shu, comes down and she protected Kanai. So this is now understandable how these ghoul can start to detach the Kagane, and now we're starting to see more and more like a strategic way of how ghoul is gonna do in the combat system. So again, Shirazu is starting to understand how the things works, and and he understands the situation Psycho is in. Especially the fact this is the first time she's in combat. She has pretty much a zero combat experience, and she can win an S rank, especially alone, let's face it. But then again, that's everybody's situation in this case. So it's interesting to see where this thing's going to go and how they're going to defeat the Nutcracker, if they are going to defeat the Nutcracker. But that's where that one scenario ends. Then we have another scenario, Ude going against the entire Ogiri guards, and then he found the big madam, and he pretty much chased him without anyone else coming with him, which of course it makes sense since this guy's all about promotion and promotion and promotion. So of course going against the madam will give you the huge promotion if he managed to take her down. And that's not the case. It turns out she's a double S rank ghoul, and yeah, it's been, according to her, it's been such a long time using her Kagane, and it means a huge serious, so yeah, this is real bad. And you can't really say anything like, well, I feel sorry for you. You could say you feel sorry for it, but in a way he had it coming. So this is pretty much karma in a huge effective way. And he really got his ass kicked. Yeah, let's go with that. So he got his ass kicked by Madam, and yeah, again she proves that she is no joke. She easily defeated him, and it just looks so brutal to see him getting stabbed in every part of the body, and he just pretty much got knocked out. And then he gets stabbed by the remaining guards. So the madam, he could have gone worse. She could have done him worse. But instead, since the guy is knocked out, what she goes for? Eat him. She's going to eat him. Maybe luckily or not luckily, Masuki is there, and now this actually gives a good cliffhanger for this side to see if Masuki can withstand against Madam. I'm not saying he's gonna go one-on-one and easily beat her or anything like that. I say like the fact is Masuki wanted to be helpful, and he doesn't want to stand back anymore. So this is the perfect time for him to actually showcase that he can be helpful, because right now Uda is about to get eaten alive, and I guess once you get eaten, he most likely be dead, or it could be like the Titan from Attack on Titan. It would take a while to digest, and then you die. But in this case, yeah. So this is the perfect time to showcase that. This is a good time for a character development for him, and maybe character development for Ude, because again, he went all solo trying to go against Madam just because he could get the perfect promotion, and this is what happens to him. He had it coming, and now If he wants second chance, it's all up to Masuki saving him right now. So that's one good cliffhanger right there to see for character development, and as well as more action scenes, and perhaps with Masuki becomes very, very helpful in the times to come in Battlefield. Now, this is where the real story comes in, and that is with Sasaki going against Takizawa. Again, Takizawa going insane and just pretty much chokehold him. And I like the attention to detail with this whole choking, make it seem like this whole getting choked against by a ghoul, no less. It's just a ghoul are like 4 to 5 times stronger than a normal human. It just shows you like how much that power of grip can really do to a person. It's like that attention detail showing you like this does look painful, and it does look like it's really gonna kill that guy. It has that effective detail. Then Sasaki just kick him off, and then Takizawa was talking about like ranks. He doesn't like about ranks, and it reminds him the time when he was a CCG investigator. And of course, he has to compare with Akira, since she was like a perfect person, a perfect 100 mark, and he was just like a 99, just 1 point. But yet, that because of that, he feels far second or just dead last, and he hates that. He always hated that, and he pretty much he wants to be the top. You could say he's hell of a very, very selfish fool for thinking this way, and that's just how he works. And it does match his whole character, except for in this case, he's more selfish, more so than ever. And pretty much he's gonna take all the hate on these CCG investigators. So yeah, that's not a good thing to have right now. Takizawa is just lunatic. That's pure blank lunatic. Then the very end, which I don't think it was gonna happen at the next chapter, but if it does happen in the next chapter, then I'm going to be hyped. And that is the fact that Kaneki, inside his mind, is back and telling him, you gotta call him out. You gotta call him out. Call him out. He gotta be saved, because Sasaki has two choices: die or disappear. Die, of course, getting killed by Takizawa, and disappear because Kaneki will take the control and pretty much perhaps get the memory back, only for Sasaki not to exist anymore. So this is one crazy scenario. Now is he doesn't know if he should deal with that power or just take the death and just get dismembered by Takizawa, because Takizawa is already overpowering him. I don't even think Takizawa got hit. I don't remember. He probably did, but I don't think it did any damage or anything good. Right now is heavily one-sided battle coming from Takizawa against Sasaki. Sasaki cannot use to Kaneki because he can't maintain it. He can't control it. Now, there's a lot of guess that we're going to see the centipede again. I'm hoping we can see the centipede again. I don't know we're going to see it. But if it's centipede coming back, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be, I don't know, the crazy ass him versus Jason, or him versus Ayato. It could be that crazy. Right now, it's just, the anticipation just went off the chart because of this ending of the chapter. So, yes, this what made it such a really good chapter. These actions, these attention details of the art, and this whole cliffhanger. One hand, the Nutcracker is still ongoing, but Shirazu is starting to understand things, which is good for his character. Especially he has taken the role of a leader instead of being the crazy man that he was in the beginning of the series. Then we have the Madam about to eat Ure because of his foolish action, and Masuki has the perfect chance to be helpful and to provide character development for him, and maybe Ure would go character development, or he would just say whatevers. It depends, but it has a good route to that. Same thing with Psycho. Psycho, right now, she doesn't want to fight because she knows she's just very scared, and she just wants everything to end it without her getting involved. This could be a good time, maybe down the line she would get into action. And again, this is all about learning experience and development, which I really enjoy. And then we have Sasaki, seeing if he will turn himself to Kaneki in order to win the battle. But unfortunately, the consequences could be huge, as in losing himself, his old memory, and become Kaneki once more without Sasaki. And it's just all this part of the chapter is really well built. And the next chapter, I don't know what we're gonna cover. We still have Uta versus Hirako and his squad, the whole Parrot squad team, the whole thing, and the whole 9 yards. So this is really getting to the big climax for each of the scenario, and I'm really hoping for Kaneki one to come next. If it comes next, it's going to be explosive. If it doesn't come next, well, at least the anticipation is still there. And the other scenarios are still important to cover. But this is one way to come back from a golden week. And I really can't wait for the next chapter. So, yeah, bottom line, this is a really good chapter. And I can't wait for the next chapter. If it's Kaneki coming back, it's going to be hell. It's going and you better, and seeing Takizawa being all cocky and think he's the best, well, let's see what happens when he meets Kaneki. That's all I'm telling him. That's all the warning he needs. And that's it. We're done here. I have nothing else to cover. There's only one chapter, and that's it. Fairy Tail, Seven Deadly Sins, and even Boku no Hero Academia has not arrived. So, yeah, that was it. I believe the first two I mentioned is, in fact, on break this week. I can't be wrong. I don't know. Maybe anything is possible. So, yeah, I could be wrong. But if I'm wrong, that means the schedule has changed. And if the schedule has changed, oh boy, I'm gonna get lost. But we'll see. So anyway, that was all for today. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the words. And do follow me at Tumblr page, which I will link in here. And Tumblr, I'm going to start to write down more impressions as well as my quick thoughts. Just in case if you really want to know what I think about this chapter before I get to review in here. So that's one way to see it. I'm going to start writing down more impressions of my on the other anime manga series, and then I'm going to start reviewing them in an overall sense. So yes, I'm going to start doing all that stuff, and I'm going to be more active than ever, because right now Golden Week is over until another time. But yeah, where it's over, break is done. I'm getting my equipment the most necessary I need to do this podcast, as well as other things in general. So yeah, everything is going smoothly, and it should make everything easier. So do continue to support me. And thank you for watching this video or listening to this video, because really there's no video to be seen. I am going to start doing some more visuals in the future, but not like a long visual scenes, like not a long one, not like a good 20 minutes. It would just be like a minute or even shorter. That's it. Something it's just amusing stuff. I'm still working the curves. I'm still trying to get an intro. I don't know. That's just me. I'm thinking too far ahead, but baby steps, as they say. So anyway, yeah, that's all I could say. And come back for the Friday's episode, unless you don't really care about One Piece and Bleach. But anyway, yeah. So do continue to support me if anything. So then, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.